Hey, it's the Nazarite bringing you Hebrew lore from days of yore. I'm live here in Yerushalayim. It's rainy and it's cold, but I'm here in a nice, warm apartment. Thank God. Hello there. Hi, little Andre. Good to see you here. Already two people here and a couple of likes. Thank you. I appreciate I appreciate well, you know what? There's no time. The sun is on its way down. I just want to go and read that there's so many things going on in this week's Torah portion with the splitting of the sea and later the war with Amalek and the water, the rock and the water. That's what I want to talk about right now for a couple of short minutes. So in Exodus 17, the congregation of Israel, right, they arrive at Rephidim, and there's no water there. And the Lord says to Moses, and this is Exodus 17:5. He says, and the Lord said unto Moses, pass on before the people, the JPS Tanakh here, and take with thee the elders of Israel, and thy rod, wherewith thou smoutest the river, take in thy hand and go. So they're at Rephidim, a place called Rephidim, the whole people, the whole congregation, and there's no water. The people call out to Moshe for water, and God tells Moshe to take his staff, right, his rod, and the Israelites, and go. And I continue, 6. Behold, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Chorev, and thou shalt smite the rock, and there shall come water out of it, that the people may drink. And Moses did so in the sight of the elders of Israel. And so we see that the people are at Rephidim, and when they call out for water, Moshe is instructed to take some of the Israelites and go somewhere else and get water from there. And God says, I will stand before thee there upon the rock in Chorev, from Rephidim to Chorev. Now, I think it's disputed on where these places are, but the point is they are in point A. Moses is commanded to go to point B, and there will be there will be the rock, and there will be the water. Seemingly, right? If God is everywhere and miraculous things can be done with the people, and right with the people who make these things happen, Moses and his rod. So first, there's this idea of having to go from point A to B for something to happen. There's movement there. He tells him to pick up his staff and go, much like he tells him earlier with the splitting of the sea. He says, "Don't cry out to me. Tell the people to go." Right, and then you should put your staff over the water, and the water will split. And later on, with the actual fight, right, the war with Amalek, Moses tells Joshua, you need to pick people, warriors, combat soldiers, and go. Tomorrow I will stand on the top of the hill with the staff, right, and the rod of God in my hand. Right, where he lifts his hand and that whole thing, and that's where the portion ends. So we see that there's this idea of movement. In order for something to happen, there needs to be a motion, there needs to be a movement, despite God being able to reveal himself anytime, anywhere, through anything, even conjure up water out of thin air, so to speak. There is this movement that needs to come from the individual, from the people of Israel, right? The people and the individual, Moses, the nation, Israel, the elders, and make a motion, go, do something, take action. We see it with the sea, we see it with the water, we see it later with Amalek. And I think, at least to me, just going over it, it never really. Uh, I still have a lot to look into it. Maybe I'll do it over Shabbos. I hope to look over this verse of Moshe going from Rephidim to Chorev and smiting the rock there and bringing the Israelites there, and then the war happens sort of back in Rephidim, and that's where that goes. What I want to say is this: that there is speaking of this idea of taking action, of having to do something of our own accord, right, to go and do something in order for miraculous things to happen, whether it's the sea, whether it's the water, whether it's the war, right, victory in a war. And he says, I'll stand before thee there upon the rock in Chorev. He goes all the way to Chorev, to that specific rock, to hit it in that specific sort of way, under those conditions, with the elders, right, of Israel looking on and seeing that he, Moshe, is striking the rock and bringing and drawing the water from it. And mm, I don't know these verses well enough insofar as all the different commentaries and different interpretations, but when I read these, right, when I read the thing with the sea, that there needs to be action, and when I read this idea with the rock and the water, where Moses is called to go and take action, and later on with the with the war with Amalek, where Moses sort of catches on, and he says, if we're going to make something happen, Joshua, you take some soldiers and go. You need to fight Amalek now. You need to take action, and tomorrow there will be the miraculous thing. Right? The people of Israel need to go, and then the sea splits. Moses needs to go, and then the water comes from the rock. So I guess in this just a couple of minutes here, what I want to say is that the Torah is telling us to take action. If we want miraculous things to happen, if we want to defy the laws of nature and make that supernatural oh so natural, right? Crossing the sea, getting the water, winning a war. We need to take action. There are things that we must do, and there's always this. Well, no, you know what? Forget that. It's not properly formulated. But let's see it again here. I will stand before thee upon the rock in Chorev, right? Smite the rock over there. Don't choose just any random rock in Refidim. Take them over there, smite it there. There will be water there. And later we see Moses sort of copying what God has done, telling Yehoshua to go and fight Amalek now. And tomorrow Moses will bring that miraculous victory into existence. But first, there needs to be action. People need to go and get moving. And uh, what this means to me is that we should always be looking at where we can take action, whether it's just us as an individual, whether it's the people, which is of course comprised of individuals. It's this idea of going and taking action and making things happen. I think I will leave it at that unless there's anything else. And I'm sorry if I wasn't very, very coherent right now. It's only a few minutes. The sun is on its way down. Let's see. So Robert Harrison says, a Shabbat full of food, laughter, and fun rest in God. Amen to us all. Little Andre says, you've got something I need. In this world full of people, there's one love in me. I'm not sure what that quote is. Do you mind either put it now or in the comments? Robert says, sometimes you have to go to do his will. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Wait, is this? Okay, whatever. It seems a bit odd in the background there, but whatever. Yes, you know what? I'll leave it at that. Sometimes you have to go to do his will. Yes, seemingly, even though God is, everywhere, that whole thing, we need to take action. We need to go in order to make that will manifest because it's through us that this will is made manifest. It's through us that these revelations come into existence. If Israel hadn't gone into the water, hadn't begun that motion, maybe it would not have split. If Moses would not go to Chorev, maybe there would be no water. And if Yoshua would not have chosen men right then and there and gone to fight Amalek, right? If they were just waiting for God to save them, it could be that they would have lost this war. So the Torah is teaching us in these few little verses here and the way that things went on and were carried out, that we need to go, we need to keep moving. Sometimes, even if it seems irrational, sometimes no, we'll leave it at that. I hope that there was some value here. I know that I was just thinking of it now as I'm speaking. I tried to get think of it a bit before I went live, but there's barely any time, so I'm going to say, oh wait, let's see. Only me and Robert today, though. Shame on you, gang. No, no, no. What do you mean? It's from here to here. It's amazing that I have you guys here with me, now, and I appreciate it. People watching now or later. Let's all have a wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shira, a Shabbat of song. Shabbat Shalom, Pinky and Andre, says Robert. Shabbat Shalom to us all. Pinky is right here, passed out on the bed. You can't see her, but she's there. So I hope that we will all be able to hearken, right, to that voice of God calling us to move forward, calling us to go, whether it's into that sea, that chaotic element of nature, whether it's from one place to the other, right, geographically in order to get water from a stone, or whether it's to know when to put up a fight and to do so without necessarily counting or on God helping you right then and there, but knowing that there's something that needs to be done now. May we be able to discern, to use our proper judgment, to be able to bring that divine will into existence through us. Shalom, Pinky, or shalom to my dad. Well, I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Let's have a wonderful Shabbat of rest, of relaxation. As Robert said, food, laughter, and fun. Rest in God. May we all be able to rest in God. It's very rainy and a little stormy out there, but I'm happy and healthy and warm with my robe. So thank God for that. I give thanks and praises to the Most High. I really, truly do. Let's have a wonderful Shabbat, a taste of the world to come. Oh, I see. Andre, little Andre, right. I keep forgetting little Andre. Let's have a wonderful Shabbat. God bless. Oh, one more thing. Oh, Khalid is here. Hello, Khalid. Shalom. I believe God leaves most things in our hands. Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think that's why we are brought into existence, because there's a certain thing or things that only we as human beings, as individuals or nations or a collective humanity, that only we can bring into existence through our actions, through going, through doing, fighting that good fight. Let's have a good one. God bless.